Hello and welcome to an emergency Views from the Shed. Not, a really bad emergency. It's just that the one I recorded to go out, I had second thoughts about. It wasn't quite right. It wasn't appropriate. So I'm doing this one now. And it might have been a subject I've touched on before, but you never stop learning. So I've got a little addition to add. That's what an addition is, isn't it, really? Here is this month's Views from the Shed. So, recently I did a Zoom presentation for this bike club. Not really good with Zoom. When I talk publicly, I want to see the reaction of the people I'm talking to, and I adjust what I'm saying accordingly. And so I'm not very good at Zoom, so I had a few faces of the audience, and there was one woman in particular who couldn't have been more disinterested. That's fine. If you're watching this and you're disinterested, doesn't matter. I've already recorded it. It's not live. And then she's bloody looking away. I just turn off your camera. I didn't know how to turn off my vision of her, and she didn't care that I was really put off by her complete disinterest. Anyway, that's not the point. That's not the point of this Views from the Shed. Point is, I did a little bit of research beforehand, what I was going to do, what presentation I was going to use, which brought back some old memories from some old trips, and one of which was a couple of Austrians who I'd met on the way to Mongolia, who I dubbed the Touratech twins. Okay, if you've heard this story before, bear with me. They were a fully sponsored couple, two guys, who started in Austria and were going to Beijing. And they had been given everything in the name of sponsorship. Their BMWs, their panniers, everything in their panniers. They had a lens on their camera which cost more than my entire trip from the UK to South Korea cost. Their phones were given to them in the name of sponsorship. Their roaming fees were paid for. Everything in the Touratech catalogue was given to them in the name of sponsorship. And they were having a shitty time because they were way out of their comfort zone, they were not getting on, and they were obligated to fulfill this trip because they'd been given all this stuff. Now, on the surface of it, it sounds fabulous. When you're preparing, researching, getting ready for your big trip, wouldn't it be wonderful if someone gave you a load of shit for free? But it's not for free. There are obligations, huge obligations, because they're not giving it to you. They want something in return, whether it's photos for their next catalogue, whether it's a blog update, whether it's social media stuff. There are obligations. And there was a moment in Kazakhstan where we pulled into this town and we were met by this lovely Kazakh guy who couldn't do enough for us. Oh, come to my place, my wife will cook for you. It's like, well, no, we can't do that because we're going to get a hotel. There's four of us. At the time, there were four of us. And so, well, that's no problem. And we've got to do laundry. It's no problem. We have a washing machine. Let us do your laundry. Anyway, point is, I could go on. I wrote about it, so I won't bother going on. Point is, all these offers, all these wonderful things that could have been so exciting to write about, such wonderful personal experiences with a local who wanted to take us around the town and to nightclubs and restaurants, were all discarded because the Touratech twins needed to sit in an internet cafe so they could update their blog, which was their obligation for being gifted all this shit in the name of sponsorship. The very thing that gives you memories, the very thing that the trip is about, the essence of being abroad in a foreign country, was all ignored because they needed to write, well, we rode along this road and we wore this waterproof jacket. And it was a real insight at the time to, as I prepared for my trip, I thought, well, wouldn't it be lovely, to be gifted stuff? But no, what is the single best thing about motorcycling? Surely it's the freedom. Surely it's the freedom of being able to go where you want, when you want, and particularly a long trip, to be able to stop where you want, go where you want, and meet who you can. And that was all taken away. That was all taken away with sponsorship. So, moving on, what would be another option? What if you said to a company, look, I don't want sponsorship because I don't want that obligation, but why don't you give me your product and I can review it in the field? I can take it out on a long trip and I can tell my followers, put on my blog, whatever, exactly what I thought of it, how it functioned. That's a little bit less pressure on the rider who's been given something to review. But wait, what if you don't like it? What if it's shit? What if it's not what it appears to be? Then you've got two options really, haven't you? You can either say it's not what it appeared to be, in which case the person who gave it to you, the company who gave it to you, the company who expected you to promote it in the field are now going to be very annoyed because you've just dissed it. Or you can lie. You can let all integrity go and you can deceive your fellow traveller by making them buy into it because a product that you don't think is any good, you're promoting because you're obligated to. That seems to me the other option, and neither which are good. Authenticity and integrity and honesty, for me, are what travelling is all about. Experiencing the foreign cultures, experiencing the individuals, experiencing what their lives are like beyond the headlines, beyond the sensationalism, beyond whatever you've been told in the press. These individuals are the essence of the trip. And that's the honesty, that's the thing you take away. And if, as some byproduct, you're telling lies or missing that interaction in the first place due to your obligations to your kit that you've been gifted or obligated to promote, then that's not really the point of the trip, is it? But that is the point of this episode of Views from the Shed. Emergency views from the shed. Anyway, that's that. I think I'll probably finish now. Thanks for watching.